Bonjour les amis et bienvenue à la classe de français avec moi, Monsieur Armstrong. Today we are going to talk about one of the most special events in French and European history, the storming of the Bastille and the French Revolution. Revolutions are always big news, as people don't tend to violently overthrow their leaders for no reason. Usually the result of years of oppression and hardship, citizens rise up against kings, queens and governments to take them down and tell them, hey your majesty, you're not being very fair right now, we've just about had enough of your shenanigans, would you kindly step aside and detach your head from your shoulders? So what happened during the French Revolution? Well, strap yourselves in, as we're about to go on a revolutionary ride. In the late 18th century, there was a new king and queen in town. They were known as King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. Louis was the grandson of the former king, Louis XV, while Marie Antoinette was born to powerful empress of the Holy Roman Empire, Maria Theresa of Austria. Neither were particularly cut out for the job of le roi, the king, or la reine, the queen. Louis never actually wanted this position and didn't show much interest, choosing for his advisors to run the country for him, which they did a truly terrible job. All the while, his wife spent the country's limited money on art and diamonds. Well, it's all very fine and dandy if the common folk in France are living a bountiful existence, right? As you would probably guess, the people in France weren't exactly well off. In fact, they were starving. Peasants had to pay tax to the clergy, the church, and the king. So what? You might be thinking. We all pay taxes when we grow up, right? Not at 75% or 3/4 of your income. That's like you getting £1 from your parents to spend on bread before an arrogant Austrian queen swarms in and takes 75p, all the while flashing that bling. To add insult to injury, after you complain to her, telling her, "Miss, this is unfair. I need to buy bread." She then tells you to buy cake instead, which is even more expensive. This was everyday life in France at the time, and to make matters worse, there was a genuine famine and flour was so expensive that it made Harrods wince in fear, making even bread difficult to come by. Poor, starving, and witnessing your own royal family embarrass your country is enough to make anyone grumble. But grumble, and you will have further misery bestowed upon you. Complain about the Queen's diamonds or the King's awful management of war, and you would find yourself bundled into a prison cell without a trial or a telephone call home. To say that the Bastille didn't have any stars on TripAdvisor is a polite way of saying that it was literal hell on earth. Fear not though, as some prisoners did find their way out, just for them to be forced to rest their head on the impending chopping block of doom, la guillotine. Dealing with starvation, poverty and the impending threat of being thrown into jail without so much as an explanation, the ordinary people of France had finally found the end of their tether. On the 14th of July 1789, the revolution changed everything. On le 14 juillet, the resistance movement stormed the Bastille in an event known as Louise De La Bastille. Upon seeing an angry gathering of hangry peasants storming the gates, the guards to the prison surrendered, which led to the release of the political prisoners inside. Acquiring the weapons from within, the mob then tracked down and arrested the king and queen and put them on trial. Taking away their names, they were both sentenced to death by guillotine, while their children were sent packing back to Vienna. Auf Wiedersehen! Now that the final king and queen of France were dead, a new form of governing came about. France became a democracy, as the new Republic of France finally gave a voice to the ordinary people. To celebrate, France adopted a new flag, known as le tricolore drapeau. The colours, rouge, blanc et bleu, red, white and blue, represented their motto of liberté, égalité et fraternité, or in English, freedom, equality and brotherhood. The celebration of Bastille Day became known as la Fête Nationale Française, France's National Day. It is celebrated with street parties, firework displays and consuming very tasty treats. Bon appétit. They even built the Eiffel Tower to celebrate the centenary and the Louvre Art Gallery for the 200th anniversary, of which they are two of the most popular attractions in Paris today. The people of France show enjoyment to celebrate the perseverance of their ancestors to ensure respect to everyone, regardless of their title or choice of headwear. Now that we know the story of Bastille Day, it is time to recap some important vocabulary to help celebrate the day. Firstly, the names for the celebration itself. These are the two names commonly used in France today. Répétez s'il vous plaît. La fête nationale. La fête nationale. Aussi, le 14 juillet. Le 14 juillet. The antagonists in this story, the king and the queen. Le roi. Le roi. Et aussi, la reine. La reine. The symbol of the movement and the national flag. Le tricolore drapeau. Répétez. Le tricolore drapeau. As well as the colours themselves. Rouge, blanc, bleu. Rouge, blanc, bleu. The motto. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. Répétez. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. And finally, the instrument that brought about the end of the monarchy. La guillotine. Répétez. La guillotine. Merci beaucoup les enfants, and thank you for helping to understand the sacrifice that the French people made for democracy, something that we as British people value today. Enjoy the rest of your day, et au revoir. À bientôt!